Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Lizon, helping you live naturally in an unnatural world. Today I want to speak to you about a topic that absolutely I feel does not get anywhere near the attention it deserves, and that is remote or indirect photobiomodulation. What that actually means is that you shine the light on one specific area, but you get the effect on an area distant or remote to that area. So remote or indirect photobiomodulation. What truly confuses and baffles me is the lack of understanding on this topic, because what it leads to is people applying and using photobiomodulation in perhaps not required or needed ways. And the best example I can possibly give you is this huge recent interest in the application of using helmets and lights around the head to treat things like stroke, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, concussion, those sorts of things. It's simply not needed when you understand the science. What we need to understand is that only 1 to 3% of the light applied will actually penetrate through the scalp and the skull and get to the outer surface of the brain. And then only 0.03% of the light will reach a total distance of 12 millimeters. That's only 1.2 centimeters, about that far into the outer aspects of the brain. There is no way that this light will reach the deeper parts of the brain where the therapy may be needed for things like Parkinson's, for example, when you need to get to the brainstem. What we need to do is put some logic hats on, not necessarily these photobiomodulation hats. Let's have a look at a new study that just came out to try to illustrate my point on remote or indirect photobiomodulation. What you can see on the screen up here is a thermal image, and the thermal image on the left is showing the baseline study of the temperature in someone's hands. The left wrist, and you can see the white light here, was irradiated, and at the end of 5 minutes, this is the picture that you can see, and you can see far more yellow and red, which is the heating up of the hands. Another 20 minutes later, after the irradiation had stopped, you can see here how much more the heating up and the microcirculation has improved. And that was the study, microcirculatory response to photobiomodulation. Now, the point I would like to make is take a look back at the second picture through here. The left hand was treated, but the right hand responded as well. And you can also see that in the third picture where the right hand responded even though the left hand was treated. This is a brand new, mind you, accidental study showing how remote or indirect photobiomodulation can work. Not convinced? Consider all the way back in 1989, a guy by the name of Roshkind did a study with rats where he had wounds or burns on the right side of the body of the rats, but he treated the left side of the rats and got the benefits as if he was treating the right-hand side. Back in 2014, a guy by the name of Johnston was looking at Parkinson's disease in mice. And what they did is they introduced a toxin that created Parkinson's, and they found that when they used the infrared light on the head, that it had neuroprotective effects. That would make sense. You treated the head. But they also found if you covered the head of the mice with aluminum foil, aluminum for those of you in North America, what they found is that you still got the benefits even though the light couldn't penetrate the head. When you treated the back or the dorsum of the mouse, that you got the same benefits. So we know that remote or photobiomodulation is a very real thing, and this makes a lot of sense considering that sunlight, how we're naturally supposed to get our light, isn't going to be able to penetrate to the same depths as what these artificial light sources are trying to do. So we know that it works. What we don't know is exactly how it works. There's some theories, and the theories revolve around increasing stem cells, which is my personal favorite. But another favorite is that it's modulating the blood-brain barrier, and that may be allowing more therapeutic aspects to occur. And the other really interesting thing that they found recently is that when you apply this infrared light, you affect the genes and you turn on all kinds of, the one study was like 500 genes to help with various aspects of healing and repair. So the take-home point is this. Number one, get lots of natural sunlight. It's how we're meant to get this sort of therapy. And if you've watched my videos, you know that I maintain that most of us are light deficient. Number 2, get full body light as much as you possibly can, not this spot therapy stuff that we're seeing. You don't need to treat the head if that's what your concern is. You don't need to treat the knee or the ankle if that's what your concern is. You can treat remote areas. In fact, when I broke my ankle a year and a half ago and it was in a cast for the 8 weeks, I was treating the left side of my body even though the injury was on the right side, trying to get ahead of the curve and make sure that the healing could be as big as possible. And number 3, if you're looking to get some photobiomodulation on your own, you can use things like near-infrared saunas or LED panels. My personal preference, and I admit I'm probably a bit biased this way, but I have both, is the near-infrared sauna, primarily because it gets the full spectrum of red, near-infrared, mid and far infrared light that can give you perhaps more benefits than just the 1 or 2 frequencies you get with the LED lights. So there you have it, remote photobiomodulation. It is a mouthful. If you have enjoyed the video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, visit our websites. You can see those in the description below. Until next time, keep well.